안녕하세요. 저는 여우라고 합니다. 미국 교포이라서 한글이 좀 부족해서 영어로 많이 할 건데요. 제가 올해 졸업했고 한 2년 동안 즐거운 산들 다녔습니다. 반갑습니다. So we first sent Jungmin to a regular 어린이집, and we were going to somewhere close to our home in Seoul Forest. But we were not really satisfied with the experience for many different reasons, and some of that was like the food that they gave him was not very healthy, and the activities that they did was mostly just kind of playing inside, and it was very restrictive in our opinion. So my wife Sasim, she started looking for other options. So to answer your question, it was my wife who found it first. But being that I grew up in America, I was also very open to an alternative approach rather than the conventional 어린이집. So I would say that she found it, and I also really resonated with the approach. So we started looking for various 공동육아 어린이집s in different neighborhoods. Unfortunately, there were not any in Seoul Forest, but we found Chulwon Sandir, which is somewhat close by. So that's how we started to go. I can't really say that there was any issues when he was here. When he transitioned from the regular 어린이집 to here, he really loved it. I mean, he's somebody who's very active and he loves running around, and so he had a really good time, and there was really no issues that we encountered. I would say every so often there might have been an awkward moment when he would speak in 반말 to somebody outside the community, and they would get a little bit shocked, and so that I would say that was a very minor issue. But in terms of while he was attending here, I can't really think of any major issues that came up. Yeah, in terms of the benefits of 공동육아, first of all, the kids just have a lot more freedom and ability to kind of play in a very creative and interactive way. And I think in this age, they should really be spending as much time in nature and playing independently as possible. So that is probably the biggest benefit. And besides that, I think the ability to go on hikes, every day, and also eating healthy food, because both my wife and I are natural medicine practitioners, so we really value kind of healthy organic eating, and also the awareness of like zero waste and environmental consciousness. I think that's very important as well. So the holistic approach of caring for the kids' body, mind, and emotions is very beneficial, I think. I would say that the childhood education that I experienced in America was probably a little bit more similar to Sander compared to the standard 어린이집s. There's a lot more emphasis on all the things we talked about. So playing outside in nature, independent thoughts, a little bit less emphasis on getting started studying earlier. So that's a big part of the reason why we specifically looked for the 공동육아 while we're here, because it is really quite similar to the American approach. Yeah, Jungmin is adjusting pretty well to elementary school, I would say. There's a little bit of resistance at first, and there's still times when he says, 학교 가기 싫어 in the morning. But we were really worried about the fact that he didn't know Korean when he went to school. So, and in his class, he was the only one who didn't know Korean. But But luckily, we had a teacher who was very understanding, and she was actually surprisingly open-minded, and she was okay with Jungmin being a little bit behind and gave us some ideas on how to help him to catch up. So the transition has been totally fine and better than expected. I would say that, of course, being that we went from 공동육아 to a regular public school, there's parts of the education that we find are maybe a little bit lacking, but overall the transition itself has been okay though.